Hey everybody, I'm doing my case study on chapter 14, ethnic discrimination. So my case study involves Susan Finn, who is the Associate Director of Human Resources at Eastern New Mexico Medical Center. So for um, over 6 months, Hispanic female staff have been complaining to Miss Finn that a contracted physician by the name of Dr. Kelsa has been engaging in abusive behavior, primarily, actually, from what I understand, only to Hispanic females in their radiation oncology unit. Um, the hospital was bringing in a lot of revenue from Dr. Kelsa, so the women did not feel comfortable writing their complaints down, even though Ms. Finn had asked them to. They didn't feel comfortable writing their complaints down because they feared they would get fired. Dr. Kelsa told the women on different occasions that Mexicans are lazy and dirty. He called a head nurse stupid. He told her all she thinks about is siestas. On a separate occasion, he told a Hispanic nurse not to treat an affluent white patient because she wasn't of her kind. He had allegedly breached patient confidentiality by telling one patient that another patient was undergoing chemotherapy and it wasn't going well. He allegedly did not drape women patients, and he would sexually assault them, and he claimed that it was for medical purposes, which is crazy. Even with all this horrific news, Miss Finn was directed by her boss not to take any action unless the women put their complaints in writing. He also assured her that if the complaints did come to him, he would take it straight up to like head management. Unfortunately, Kelsa's behavior continued to go on. It didn't change. It got worse. The more patients he got, the more he would act out. He was known to throw papers, berate staff, and even patients. Finally, Finn had enough, and she confronted her boss and asked him what she was going to do about Kelsa because she had already tried to talk to him, and his attitude and his nothing changed. So her boss told her that she only needs to worry about staff and not the physicians, and that she shouldn't rock the boat because contractual physicians aren't regular employees. So basically, he told her there's not a lot she can do or he can do. And he also told her that the nurses were expendable. So when Finn realized that her manager wasn't on her side, she took it into her own hands to document the problems and sent a letter to the vice president of medical affairs. In the letter, she included, you know, the direct verbal abuse that had happened, gender discrimination, racially inflammatory remarks. She talked about the breach of patient confidentiality and the unprofessionalism that had happened. Um, so the case study ends with the secretary of the VP calling Miss Finn into the office to meet with Dr. Kelsa and the vice president, and the secretary told her that they weren't happy about this letter. So I think there's a lot wrong with this situation. I think that clearly there's not a safe space. This organization or hospital isn't a space where employees feel comfortable to discuss or write down issues they had in fear of getting fired. I don't know if it was an at-will employer, but either way, it's important to create a safe environment for employees to feel comfortable to discuss issues like this that were going on. I know that Title V makes it unlawful for an employee to be subjected to unwelcome harassment, which creates a hostile work environment. And I think that if Miss Finn was a better HR manager, she would have known these laws, and not let the situation go on for 6 months. If her boss wasn't doing anything, I think she should have taken it up higher. I know a lot of hospitals are in networks. She could have taken to like, someone who's in charge of the network of hospitals, or someone else. I think it was an injustice to the patients as well as the employees that Ms. Finn failed to document the complaints of sexual assault by Dr. Kelsa. She talked about a lot of other stuff going on, but she never talked about the sexual assault, and I think that's a huge issue that should have been addressed. So my questions for you guys are: how should have Miss Finn how should have Ms. Finn handle the situation? And do you think that Dr. Kelsa and the whole HR management department team, do you think they should have all gotten fired? Yeah, thanks.